Hi, this is Greg with Alpenwild, and we're here today with Rebecca Murray. And Rebecca, you live here in Chamonix, right?
I do. I live in Chamonix. Great place.
And she's an Alpenwild guide. Now, many of our guests, in fact, most of our guests who come on our tours, they also do some pre and post tour travel in France or Switzerland. And many of them on the Tour de Mont Blanc or on the Chamonix de Mont Haute route, they will do 1 or 2 nights in Chamonix before the tour. Well, what do you do in Chamonix? So that's why we're here today. We want to show you some things to do in Chamonix prior to the starting the tour. The first thing they probably ought to know is about the guest card. And you want to show that?
Yeah. Okay. So you've got to Chamonix. You've arrived here. You can see it's quite steep. You can see each side of these valleys are very steep. So what we end up doing is we end up doing a lot more valley travel. It's a bit easier for your legs, especially if you've come from America. You're going to be a little bit tired. You might have a little bit fatigued legs. So we like to think about trying to stay in the valley. I've got a couple of hikes lined up for you though that take a little bit of the upsides, and you can see over there on the left, that's up to the École de Midi up there, and we've got a little tour that goes up that way. What I will say at this point now, it's really important that on the trip that you're going to do, you're going to do probably here, if you're here, you're going to do the Tour de Mont Blanc and you're going to do the Haute Route to Zermatt. Now, both those trips will include a trip of the École de Midi, which you can see over there. See it up there? Yeah?
Right.
You will do that as part of the tour. You'll get taken there with a guide. So I'd say don't bother doing it yourself.
Right, exactly.
You'll end up just going up there. You'll miss all the stories that we've got lined up for you. So I'd say save that one for when you're doing the guiding. Yeah. Same with Brevon. If you're doing the Tour de Mont Blanc, you'll do that one. So if you're doing the Zermatt route, you may want to do that one. But otherwise, I'd say we'll stay in the valley, make the most of down in this beautiful valley that we have here.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So let's start right here in the town of Chamonix.
Yeah.
Are there fun things to do here?
Bunch of great stuff. Loads of restaurants, loads of hikes straight from the valley, and there's it's very well lined up travel-wise. We've got loads of transport. There's 3 buses that run all the way through these different valleys. It's worthwhile thinking Chamonix as one valley full of little towns. There's loads of little towns within this valley, and we've got trains that link them together, and we've got buses that link them together. So I'm going to show you a little bit now of this little map, and for the guys to get to know this a little bit, you can see how to get around a bit. And I'm going to show you the magic card.
The magic card.
The magic card. This will get you free travel in between 2 really cool points, down to Cerveau that way, Valorcine up this way, and you get free train travel and free bus travel, and it's really worthwhile making the most of this.
And that's
really
provided by the hotel.
Free
of charge. So they check in, they get their magic card, and they're good to go. Well, let's start. Let's go out and explore Chamonix.
Cool, brilliant.
So Rebecca, there's so much to do here in Chamonix, and in fact, our guests could come here and spend the entire time just shopping, right?
They could indeed.
So let's give them an idea of where they might find things that they would enjoy. Just starting here in Chamonix.
Great. So this is just outside the hotel, so you've got this lovely area here. First stop, number 1 first stop, Chanel Sports. There you go. Anything you've forgotten, if you just want to look around and buy some fancy new gear, that's your stop there. It's got everything in it for hiking, climbing, things you want to aspire to do, it's all there. Then over here we've got the Maison de la Presse, which is really nice for buying maps, souvenirs. Like, it's a beautiful little shop to go into. So that's your first stop. And ice cream's just there too. It's all here.
Yeah.
We can go this way and look at some more things. You can come here if you're a real adrenaline junkie and you want to get started before the trip starts. You can come here and ask about the paragliding, which a lot of people do. If you're starting here, you could paraglide before the trip, and if you're going to Zermatt, you could even paraglide after the trip.
Sure.
You've got the whole bunch going on. So this is your place to ask about this. You've got the Maison de Guide, which you can come here and ask about the paragliding.
And right here in this little square, we have the church and the tourism office for other additional information.
Exactly. There's also a nice bar, which we'll point out in a bit, called the Bar de Chamonix. If you want to see the old-timer guides out there, the ones that have been on the mountain for about 60 years, they're there.
Okay.
So that can add a bit of extra Chamonix culture and history for you as well.
Great.
Yeah. And also the other thing that you can do is there's a crystal museum just up here, just past the church, and it's over the road to the right. It's got an incredible collection of different crystals in there.
Our guests are often looking for a place to eat, and we don't want to have them go to a place that we might eat at on the tour.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend?
So this spot just here, Josephine, is a really nice place to come and have a bit more upmarket. Don't know any of the guides that use this one as a place to eat, and it's really nice. As you can see just now, everybody's sitting out. It's an all-day thing. Really nice in dinner too. So if you're looking for something a bit fancier, a bit more of, I don't know, bistro France, this is what you want. You want to come here. And then just beyond that, there's another little cafe called Batteria, and that's really nice for just really casual, having some, you know, salads, quiche, little beers, demi, that sort of thing. So these are nice little spread of restaurants here that you can come to.
So lunch or dinner, a good choice.
Lunch, dinner, morning,
coffee, beer.
It's all here in France.
Okay. Okay, so Rebecca, Chamonix is a busy place, a world popular resort. If you want to get away from it all, where would you go?
Here!
Here!
This is the Maison d'Artistes, the Parc de Maison d'Artistes. Really nice place. Right, you wouldn't believe it, the hotel is just over there. Really short walks. Come to here, get yourself an ice cream. It's a beautiful place to hang out on the lawn. Maison d'Artistes is a really cool little bar that promotes new music, different things like that. But this place is always calm, always a nice place just to read your book, have a bit of a chill. You don't need to be walking anywhere before your big hike around the Tour de Mont Blanc. You can maybe come here and chill out.
And it's just a few steps from the center of town.
Exactly. Perfect.
Beautiful. So Rebecca, most of our guests will arrive in Chamonix and go right to the hotel by shuttle. But once they want to go beyond the village, they're going to come to the train station, right?
Exactly. You're going to come up from the hotel, you're going to pass all those different places we recommended, pass Barrier Mission, and get to the train station. And at this point here, you'll have your magic card, which is very important.
Of course.
And you just get straight on the train. You don't need to go to the bureau or the office and ask for anything. Just get on the train, the conductor will come round, and you just need to show this, and that's fine.
So Rebecca, Chamonix is full of excitement and shopping and great food. Any cultural highlights you want to share with us?
Oh, definitely. We've got the Alpine Museum. Just now it's actually closed for renovations, but it will be opening up in the summer. It's also got a board beside it, and it tells you a little bit about different things that are happening in town. So there's this really cool like photographic gallery which is going to get presented. It shows alpinism throughout the years through photographs, and this is here as well. So it's a nice place to come, check this board out. It'll have all the different things that are happening in town, different cultural events. There's loads of stuff going on for the summer. Like, they want people to see you know, the history, the different culture of how Chamonix developed, and you know, the museum and things like that. So good place to come. It's going to be opening again soon. Get in here and see how alpinism developed. It's all at the heart of it.
Yes, and a great place to explore the heritage and the history and the excitement of mountaineering in Chamonix, which has been a way of life here for 300 years.
Exactly. Yeah. This is where it started. This is where we started alpinism, and it's where it's got its name.
That's right.
It's the heart of it.
So Rebecca, you have some favorite spots for music and nightlife, entertainment?
And this one is a good one. So right beside Cool Cats, nice place to grab an Aperol Spritz and sit down and listen to some music that normally plays here. Normally during the summer they'll often be playing about 6 o'clock, and it's a band. It's got they have lots of different bands here, but often it's a bit of a mix, a bit of jazz, a bit of funk, and it's often playing in this area here. We've also got the Excursion too, so if you did fancy, I think we just looked at the river, you can actually book onto some rafting and go down the river if you like. If you're real adrenaline, if you're really going for it, this is a place to book for that as well. So you've got your music here, and you've got your adrenaline over there as well. So it's all happening in this area.
So much to do in Chamonix. It's amazing.
So much.
So Rebecca, people want to get out of Chamonix and come up and explore the beautiful alpine regions. They can take the train from Chamonix on their magic card, right?
Magic card, yeah.
And come all the way to Valorcine, which is, and this is the little village of Bouet. And in fact, Valorcine is the the last village in France before you enter Switzerland.
Exactly.
So we're kind of right near the Swiss border.
Right at the border.
And what do you recommend here?
Bouet! This is
Bouet.
the best bit. Now this is what I recommended as one of the nicest things that you can do. If you're here for 2 days or a day before, you've got a full day, you're not sure what to do, I feel like this is the nicest thing you can do to get to know the valley. You've come over from Chamonix, you come through the Col de Monte, you come through a big tunnel, you come to this little beautiful town of Bouet. Bouet is surrounded by nature, it's absolutely beautiful, and there's a little restaurant, a little cafe just over there. There's also a bunch of hikes that go out into the forest, and they go for a little loop, and you go through, there's a little town called Sur-la-Rocher, you go through these amazing little villages just in the forest, really accessible, and they're only about 5 kilometres, which isn't American miles, it's,
Right.
I don't know, 4 miles or something, and you do a nice little loop, and you can come back to this little train station here. But what I've recommended on my most favourite things to do is to get off here at Bouet, a beautiful little stop, and then you walk down to Valorcine, and as you mentioned, that's the last stop. You can't go any further before you go to Switzerland. So you get off here, and it's about a half-hour gentle stroll through all this beautiful terrain. You go through all these lovely little villages, go through the meadows, and you get to this really nice place, a restaurant for lunch. Have lunch there, get back on the train at Valorcine, and get back over to Chamonix. And then I feel like you've really seen the whole breadth of the valley, which is a lovely way to do it.
What a day.
What a day!
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1 recommendation.
So here in Bouet, we're surrounded by snow-capped peaks on all 4 sides.
Yes, we are.
What do we have here in the background?
So this one is Les Dreux, and behind it is the Eagle Vert, and you will see them in Chamonix. You'll see them from the hotel as one really pointy peak, like a proper pointy one. On the other side, you see actually it's a bit domed. These are big famous alpine peaks. Eagle Vert is like your number 1 alpinism one, that's your first alpine peak. The Dreux is a really difficult one, and they say it's going to fall down in about 200 years. So it's already had a massive rock fall. So take most of it now, and it might be gone in 200 years.
So come see it now.
Come and see it now!
Okay. So we get off the train in Bouet, and now where?
Now, to Valorcine.
Valorcine.
These are in France. All the signs are signposted like this, with this sort of like beige background with the green on the front here. And it tells you to Valorcine, 35 minutes, and it'll be signposted the whole way. Really nice gentle walk.
35 minutes. I think I can do that.
I think you do have a hiking
Yeah.
poles as well. You can just go for a lovely hike.
And then when we come back, is there a place to eat here?
Yeah. So we're going to actually, at the end of Valorcine, that's where we're going to eat. So there's a really nice
Okay.
restaurant just down there.
Well, Rebecca, that was a beautiful walk. Thank you. So here we are in Valorcine, and you have a place to recommend for lunch or dinner. It looks like a wonderful.
This is a Café Comptoir. It's a beautiful place for lunch. Make sure that you get the hotel to make your reservation before coming, though. Very important. So, and they'll do that totally fine. And this is a beautiful spot for the summer when it'll be open, it'll be busy, lots of hikers here. Nice place, even just have a coffee if you want to come down and have a coffee and walk back to the train station. But I would totally recommend the food. Stay here for lunch and then walk and then get the train back.
Well, Valorcine is such a beautiful area, and just in the heart of these mountains on all sides. And as the sign shows, we're just 6,000 miles from Mount McKinley and 7,000 miles from Mount Everest. So we're just close to everything here, aren't we?
It's all happening in Valorcine. This is the centre.
Rebecca, thank you. You've given us so many ideas, things to do in town as well as out here in the outdoors, up in the mountains. And so there's no excuse for someone to come to Chamonix and just stay in the hotel room.
No way.
There's so much to do. Well, this is Greg Witt.
And this is Rebecca Murray.
For Alpenwild. See you in the Alps.
Yes.